A cloudy afternoon in Gyeonggi-do, South Korea, turned into a whirlwind of questions when Kim Taehyung, currently also serving his military duty, suddenly appeared at the training site where Taehyung Jungkook is stationed. There was no public schedule, no statement from hybe. But one thing's for sure, Taehyung came with a purpose. Something that visibly changed Jungkook. And to this day, one major question remains unanswered. What was said in that mysterious conversation that made everything feel different? According to reports from military staff and a few insider leaks, Taehyung's arrival was not on the official guest list that day. He arrived in an official military vehicle and presented his ID as an active duty soldier. Given his equal status, he was allowed entry with limited protocol. What made this visit so unusual was his request. Taehyung specifically asked to meet with Jungkook, and only Jungkook. They both entered a small meeting room near the main barracks.
No gatos, no cameras,
no audio recordings. Normally, visits are short and casual. But this one lasted over an hour, and the mood after it was heavy. Anonymous military source. After the meeting, several individuals at the base noticed a stark shift in Jungkook's behavior. He became quieter. He skipped his afternoon training session. He even missed dinner with his fellow trainees. One fellow soldier claimed to see Jungkook sitting alone outside the barracks, staring blankly into the distance. I don't know what they talked about, but he looked like someone who had just lost his direction. Jungkook's training peer. The bond between Taehyung and Jungkook has long been a subject of fan fascination. Everyone knows they used to be incredibly close, perhaps even the closest among BTS members. But over the past 2 years, a distance began to show. No more social media interactions, no joint appearances in promotional content, no more late-night V-Lives together. Even during their final pre-enlistment concert, the two seemed distant. So now, with this sudden visit, fans are asking, was this conversation the final chapter of an unspoken rift that's been building for years? 3 theories behind the mysterious talk. 1. A long-delayed confession. Some ARMY speculate that the meeting might have been a deeply personal confession, perhaps disappointment, regret, or even something more emotional. 2. A major career decision. Could Taehyung have told Jungkook about a life-changing decision? Maybe he's planning not to return to the entertainment world after military service, or to pursue a solo path permanently. 3. Old tensions finally addressed. Some old fan sites hint at internal tension that began back in 2021. Could this have been their final chance to reconcile? HYBE has yet to release any statement. When questioned by Korean media, their response was short. We cannot comment on private interactions between members. This vague response has only deepened suspicions. Even major outlets like Dispatch and Korea Boost seem hesitant to report the story openly. Is there internal pressure to keep it quiet? On social media, reactions have been mixed. Some fans are anxious, fueling wild speculations on Twitter and TikTok. Others remain calm and respectful of the members' privacy. If they spoke one-on-one, maybe they were trying to fix something deeply important, wrote one ARMY from Brazil. They're not fictional characters. They're human. Maybe this talk was about their future, and that's not our business, said a senior ARMY from Japan, but all agree on one thing. This mystery is far from over. As 2 central figures in BTS, Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship is more than professional. It represents the journey of a global phenomenon. A private moment between them, if indeed emotional, could have long-term consequences. Sometimes, it takes just one sentence to either shatter or save something. And we still don't know what Taehyung said that day. Is this the beginning of an end, or the spark of a reconciliation? We can only wait and hope. Do you truly believe what you've just read? After reports of the mysterious military meeting between Taehyung and Jungkook went viral, a different kind of question emerged. Is all of this true? Or was it a calculated narrative designed to grab the media's attention and shake up the fandom? Let's be honest. This story has everything: drama, suspense, emotion, and 2 of the most beloved names in K-pop. It's just too perfect to ignore, but maybe that's exactly the problem. Let's re-examine it. An idol arrives unannounced at another idol's military base. They disappear into a private room for over an hour, and afterward, one of them becomes emotionally distant and withdrawn. No official documentation, no press, but somehow, the news leaks quickly and spreads like wildfire. Fans began asking, how do people know the length of the meeting without any cameras? Who's the original source of this info? Is this a real event or a fandom/media-fueled fantasy? We can't ignore the fact that the Korean entertainment industry, like any other, has been known to use drama to maintain public interest. With BTS members currently enlisted, the lack of group activity has created a vacuum. So, is it possible that stories like this are used to keep the public engaged? Then we must ask, who benefits the most from this narrative? Online media earns clicks and traffic. Dormant fan sites come back to life. Even HYB, without spending a dime on promotions, gets global exposure. I ask this coincidence or strategy. Within large fandoms like ARMY, there's often what psychologists call collective imagination, a tendency to fill in the blanks with hopes, fears, or expectations, with no concrete data. Rumors become the main currency, and in this case, the rumors surrounding an emotional one-on-one talk between Taehyung and Jungkook are amplified by past unresolved issues, a vague social cues, and the sheer emotional investment fans have in both individuals. But without hard proof, can any of this be considered truth? Still, it's entirely possible that it did happen, that a deeply emotional, private conversation took place between two people who've shared over a decade of life together, under global pressure. If that's the case, then this isn't drama for the public. It's a personal chapter between two exhausted, overexposed humans. And if so, do we really have the right to pry so deeply? Underscore 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 underscore. Now we pass the question to you, the reader, the listener, the fan who has followed BTS through thick and thin. Do you believe that this event truly happened as reported? Do these articles reflect reality? Or are they cleverly designed stories created to stir media buzz? Are we witnessing leaked truth? Or simply consuming a narrative built to keep the spotlight alive? And the most important question, as fans, do we really want to know everything? Or are we simply yearning to feel close, even through stories that may not be real? In a world where information spreads faster than facts can be verified, it's harder than ever to distinguish real from constructed, especially when it involves icons like Jungkook and Taehyung. They are more than artists. They are symbols. And like all symbols, they are often projected upon with dreams, fears, and unresolved emotions. So before you fully believe, before you share yet another rumor, ask yourself, is this a truth finally revealed? Or just another beautifully tragic story we want to believe? Do you believe this truly happened? Or was it part of a carefully crafted media story? Share your thoughts. Start the conversation, but never stop asking questions, because in a world full of illusions, doubt may be the only form of truth.